Happy Monday night. I am Sonia G. This is the MoonBabes Monday Night Live. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Monday night. As we're live, I'm going to wait for some of you guys to join. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. We're going to talk about the energy. We are talking about what is happening. And I am going to, hi beautiful people, I see you joining, I see you. I have, if you guys want to, I see some, hi Sarah, hi you guys. Hi Stephanie, we're talking about the energy. So if you guys have questions that you want to ask, just shoot them in and then I'll do my best to answer along the way, as well as I'm going to try and do a little bit of just, yeah, I see what you guys are saying. This retrograde's out of control. So we're going to talk about it. So maybe let's do this. Stick around till the end. I'm just going to chat about the energy and kind of what's going on, and then I'll do my best to answer as we go. So let's get started, shall we? We have lots of crazy going on in the energy right now. Yes, we have Mercury retrograde, but believe it or not, that's not like the bulk of this energy that is like wiping us right now. So right before Thanksgiving, you guys, the sun moved into Sagittarius. This is Sagittarius season, right? So Sagittarius is like an adventurous sign, an explorer sign. We want to move forward when the sun goes in Sagittarius, because the sun was just in Scorpio. So we were kind of going really deep, right? We were dealing with some deep stuff, and now it's like, okay, we want to move forward. And there was Thanksgiving and we want to like go forward. So here's what happened with the sun. Okay, the sun entered Sagittarius, but then remember that we have Jupiter, the planet of abundance, whose home sign is Sagittarius, that just came back last month into Sagittarius after 12 years. Okay, so number one, that's a big deal. Number two, the sun and Jupiter just conjuncted. Okay, just like they had a conjunction. I don't know how else to show you this with my fingers. And that energy has not come around in a really long time. So it's a big deal energy. It's like this big, like, blah, what is going on? And it's like an unraveling of realities because it's big. Jupiter is the biggest planet. When Jupiter moves, we feel it like it's a big energy shift. It has like a big gravitational pull on us. So that's what's going on. So we want to move forward. We want to move towards like where we need to go. We want to jump into this 5D, into this new reality, create this new world. We want new things. But then there's all the other stuff going on that's like, but wait, are you really thinking about this? Like, are you thinking this through? And do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do that? And the thing is, with Mercury retrograde is actually allowing us the inner journey so that we don't jump into things without really an understanding. Because here's the thing, with this energy, if you were to switch something, jump into something without truly understanding your place and your energy and where you stand, then it kind of just doesn't work. Because the biggest thing that's happening right now is, do you guys feel like the shift is so big that it's like compressing you? And it's kind of leaving you with this like void inside. It's kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, I feel tired. I feel like there's a lot going on, but really there's nothing going on. And I really don't want to do anything. I just want to rest. I feel like I'm doing a lot, but I'm just really resting. But it feels like a lot. And then I still have a lot of things to do. And so what's happening is we're shifting. And so we are needing to jump into this new way of doing things, this new reality. And the ways that we would identify ourselves in the 3D world, right? So in the ways of labels, in ways of, I'm an employee here, I'm a manager here, I oversee this, this is what I do, this is what I do, I'm, all of these ways, all of the labels that we carry in the world, those don't work anymore. So it's really a time where we are being like, internally pushed within to figure out who we truly are. And the only way to move forward and to feel like there's a sense of purpose and to really grasp it and to understand it with all of these energies is to energetically tune into yourself and to really know how to do your spiritual work. And, you know, everybody kind of talks about it like in terms of like, oh, you got to be mindful and you got to meditate and you got to do your thing. But you know, and you got to take time for you and you can't keep giving to others and self-love, which is, you know, it's great. And those are all things that are absolutely important. But what you want to do is learn how to connect your heart to your higher self. Okay. That will be the thing that will help you the most. Super important. So, okay, question. I don't have finances to join things. Where do I start? How do I focus? How do I reach my divine self? Okay, great question. So, first of all, I have a course that is free on my website. So check out my website. And there's a free meditation on there. The course will teach you how to protect your energy, which is super important. Okay. It's called, I think I called it the energy hack. And so it teaches you how to protect your energy, how to stay within your own, happy vibes and how to shield yourself and not pick up other people's crap because nobody wants that. The other thing is you will learn how to meditate and how to connect your energy, connecting down to the good energy, to the 5D grid, to the light energy, that is in Gaia, in the planet. And so that's your first step. Okay. So with that meditation that is on there, then you will kind of you'll discover that you're much more than just your body, than just your 7 chakras. And so just know, and I'm telling you right now, that if you keep going down energetically, you have to train yourself to understand that you're more than just your body. That's why this shift is so hard. And so when you go down with your energy through your chakra pillar, it's like this motion. You go down to the earth and then you go up to your higher self. And you want to start getting used to navigating this. This is where you want to start. You want to navigate who you truly are. Like, it's inside, so it starts in your heart, but then you are so much bigger than what's in your physical body. And so it's time to start unwinding this, to start understanding this, because our DNA, our dormant DNA, is being activated. This is all of the blast. So if you follow, if you follow me, if you follow anybody that's new age, talking about new earth and ascension and what's happening, everybody's kind of talking about these, like, the upgrades and the downloads and the DNA activations. What does that mean? It means that it's, we are like transforming, right? So we are upgrading our entire infrastructure. Our insides are coming online. So all of a sudden, what happens is, and this is for all you guys, I know that you guys are on here that are from the Sacred Chakras journey, and I just saw like a thread being posted that I haven't had a chance to answer, and I'm going to help everybody with this too. Whenever there is a, so, because we really get to talk about the coolest stuff in the Sacred Chakras journey, you guys. So, of course, I'm going to tell you about this course. But first, I want to help you with this. So, anytime there is a download, anytime there is a DNA activation, anytime that you feel this like energy pressure that pulses, because it kind of goes like this, right? And then you feel on your forehead, you get all the symptoms. This one has the itchy skin symptoms, the blurry eye. Like, it's just your system is recalibrating. It's recalibrating and it's learning how to use your intuition in order to recalibrate and to understand how to do life in a new way. So what happens, which you don't need to worry about, is your powers, your superpowers, like your sight, your hearing, your psychic abilities, your intuition has to also recalibrate. So there are times where you're like, damn it, I was just starting to see the colors and the auras and the things, and now I'm not seeing them. That's why you're just adjusting. So it's not that it's going backwards. It's just that you're learning how to do it on a higher level. okay? Learning how to do it on a higher level. You're welcome, absolutely. I am happy to help. I have lots of things that I do that are free, and then I have, you know, more advanced stuff, but I always help you guys. I absolutely love you. I know how this stuff is, and so I want to help, but that will help you. So learn how to do that and stay, I'm going to say this, stay in your lane. When you guys navigate the cosmos, this is the biggest issue that people run into. Stay in your lane. Imagine yourself being a long lane, okay, of like, this is your chakra pillar, and it goes like this, and it goes all the way up and all the way down. Stay in your lane. Go to the top, go to the bottom, okay? This is where your energy, where your energetic centers stretch out to, and this is where you're going to find so much energy and so much power in just the essence of being you. So it's super helpful to do that. And then you don't have to get sidetracked, and you don't have to go like get stuck in like the astral planes. Don't do that. Nobody wants to get stuck there. But if you do, reach out to me and I can help you with that. So I have this interesting ability, one of my superpowers, right? Because I don't know why I started calling them that, where I can actually connect with you guys and help you when you are in the cosmos. And so this is why it's a lot of fun to travel together, because then I can remotely connect with you, and then we all go together, and so I know that you're safe. And these are the kind of things that we do in the course, in the Sacred Chakras journey. Why do we do this? So let's talk about this stuff. Oh, good question. What happens outside of your lane? Is it bad? You can get stuck. So it's basically kind of like you're off-roading and you are driving. Let's just say you're driving like a super nice, like low riding, you know, sports car, and it's like off-roading and you just don't know what you're going to hit. And then if you get like any kind of a thing, that's where let me answer it this way. It's where other entities that are not of the highest truth and light reside. There's lots of different levels. There's lots of densities. There's lots of levels as you go up through the planes, right? Like Earth is going from 3D to 5D. There's other beings in other dimensions that are more well versed in dealing with energy than you. So to us, you know, to us, they appear like, ooh, you can do that, right? So you may run into entities, you may run into things that you don't realize because you're not skilled, you're not trained. You don't realize that these guys latch onto you and they're like, oh, look, here's a newbie. They don't know that they shouldn't be off-roading. And that's the reality of it. And so that's the thing, is a lot of people are like, man, let's just go space out. And then you don't know what happens and you don't know what you bring back with you. So it's important that you stay in your own chakra lane. That's what I'm going to start calling it. And it started here tonight. That's really funny. So that's why it's important, because you don't want to catch any, you know, viruses in your system, any kind of entities that come down with you. And so that's why a lot of people are like, oh, I hear this and I hear that, and like, maybe I shouldn't, and like, I don't know, it sounds out there, you know, like, but it's really not. So if you know how to do it correctly, what it does, and there's starting to be like scientific proof. So I'm gonna, after I do this move that I'm doing, that's kind of taking up some of my time, I'm going to research some of the scientific evidence of how it changes you. But whenever you have the ability to have an experience that shifts your state of being, okay, and this is all sorts of transformational healing workshops and seminars anywhere, it changes you, right? Your cells change, you feel a change, you feel a shift, kind of like you go to the gym, you work out, you burn some fat, you come back and you're feeling better, right? It's kind of like that. So when we go to the astral planes, when we go connect to our highest self, when we go all the way up to 12D, our cells change and they get uplifted and they get happy. And then when you come back down to, your own, like inhabiting in your body, you're bringing down this like higher level of frequency where you're just like, oh, okay, now I feel better. Now I feel re-energized. Now I feel like I have more of me inside the body. And that's really what happens, is every time we do that, we bring more of our soul inside our body, where we actually feel like, we are becoming a being mostly made of light instead of a being mostly made of matter, right? So we're shifting to a crystalline body. So our entire system is shifting and it's upgrading. And that's why sometimes we have our superpowers coming offline and then recalibrating. And now it's like, oh, okay, now I'm working with this other DNA molecule, or I'm working with this other, piece of crystalline energy that's like in the body now. So that's kind of what happens. So Joe Dispenza has scientific explanation. Stephanie, you are very correct. In fact, I started reading one of his books and I was like, he basically teaches the things that I teach, except I speak energy and he speaks science. I am just, that way, in a sense. I have, and I shouldn't say the same exact things, but the principles are the same. And I feel like there's very many people out there that teach, this principle, and it's starting to become more and more widely known that, hey, all of the super elite people have figured this out a long time ago. Nobody just shared it because they're like, we figured this out. Let's just not tell anybody, because, that way I'm going to digress. So we're not going to get into this. So you just started his supernatural book. Cool. I'm reading that one too. Yeah. And in fact, it talks about very similar experiences. And Stephanie, you're in the Sacred Chakras journey. So like some of the things that he talks about, it's just all the things that we work in our mind, right? So when we go to higher realms, and when we go to higher frequencies and we release and then we download what we need, that's exactly what we're doing. We're capable of shifting our state of being and releasing what we no longer need, and then downloading the things that we need. And it really is all about our consciousness. It's our mind, it's our breath, and it's our ability, like it's the strength that we have in our body. So everything comes down to the energy of it. And so but there is scientific evidence that in fact this stuff works. And now I am on to figuring out the scientific evidence to see how it actually affects our health, because there's major health things that I have been able to heal by accessing my own higher frequency. It's not like just manifesting things. Like, it's manifesting money, but it's manifesting health. It's like being able to download whatever you need into your own state of being, right? And so when you learn how to do that, you can really use it for a lot of things. But learning how to access yourself on a higher state, it gives you purpose. So if you're just downloading, like, if you're manifesting money, and if you're manifesting things, and if you're manifesting, and obviously nothing against that, because everybody wants to be, having a life where you're capable of experiencing and expanding and doing all of the fun things like traveling and whatnot. But it's about who you are on the inside at the end of the day, right? Because you're the one that lives with yourself, inside yourself. And whether you feel empty or whether you feel whole, whether you feel like you have a purpose on this planet, whether you can hang with yourself, whether you know the direction that you're going, if everything around you falls apart, do you know who you are? Do you know where you stand, right? That's the stuff that matters. When you know that you really have your own back. And you don't have to call anybody. At the end of the day, you got you. Yeah. Okay, questions. The science of it is an ancient study of reality. Yeah, it really is. It's an ancient study. And for me, I speak energy. That's what I always say. I mean, I've studied, like, I'm a Reiki master. I studied Theta. I've studied the healing practices, and there's things where there's proof. I've never gotten in the proof, because to me the proof is in how you feel. So you do it, you feel amazing, you're like, hey, I want more of that. That's just kind of how it works for me. So my baby loves watching you talk. She gets all excited. Oh, yay. hi, baby. I love babies. I am like an honorary auntie to so many babies. I just love them. I speak baby. Jem says, yes, yes, yes. The lymphatics are key with our health and our higher self. Yes, absolutely. And Jem is in our Sacred Chakras journey too. I love that you guys joined me. Okay. I have to ask you, have you accepted the darkness in your life? Yes, I've done lots of shadow work. Lots of shadow work. I have personally been into dark places. I've had my own dark night of the soul a couple of times, so I went through that. And the reason why I do this work now is because I went through my dark night of the soul and my awakening where I questioned everything, and I did all of that. It was 11 years ago now. And what's really interesting is the timing of the planets and how things, you know, we were just talking at the beginning about like the 12-year cycle of Jupiter. It feels like it's very similar energy. And so I can feel that, you know, that's when I had my awakening, and I'm sure it was like a wave, and a lot of people had that too. So I've had time to figure this stuff out and to study and to figure it out and how to relate to people. And the fact of the, you know, the things that were happening to me, the fact that they were actually like tangible and that I actually can take people there. And I've been, doing one-on-one coaching for a long time, and so that I noticed that there's patterns and there's things that happen to all people at the same time because we are all experiencing, you know, similar downloads. And so this is why now I realize that I need to help more people, and that's why this stuff is happening. So I went through all of that, and I deal with my own darkness very openly, very honestly. Well, I don't know if I necessarily like talk about it, you know, on social media, but it's with myself, I'm very open about that. And so if there's things to embrace, if there's things, you know, it's the yin and the yang. It's you got to do all the work. You got to do all the work, but I do daily practice. I do daily work. So, okay, questions. You sound like you got your shit together. Thank you. You know, I don't, as much as what I have figured out is how to use tools. So it doesn't mean that life doesn't get to me. Like right now, you guys, I'm going through a twin flame separation. So it's not, you know, from the outside, you're like, oh my gosh, you're moving and like all these things. It may not look like I have my shit together, but emotionally, energetically speaking, I know the tools to use and I know what to do in order to feel whole no matter what life throws, you know, at me, or no matter what challenges in which way I am choosing in the moment to create my reality and learn from, because truly it's always ourselves. So it's like our soul is deciding the ways that we choose to learn in this lifetime. I know it's getting like really, really ridiculously deep, but that's just kind of how it goes. So I have, you know, a really good connection with my angels and my guides team. And so when I can't get myself out of my own stuff, I'm very blessed to be able to have, you know, the relationships that I have with angels and guides and my higher self, and, you know, my people, my star people on my star planet, because then, I can turn things around. So that is the blessing. Okay, what is the dark night of the soul? That term started coming up more and more. So the dark night of the soul is where you really face the, like, just like your world falls apart. And it's like, for me, it was like I questioned everything. It's like that moment where you start to, like, you question God, you questioned everything. Yeah, it's like that downward spiral where nothing makes sense, and then you question what the hell you're doing in this world, and then it's like you see all the ugly, and all the ugly inside comes out, and you just deal with all the darkness. And then it takes away, and it just depends on the tools that you have, you know. And when this happened for me, I didn't have this course. I didn't have, you know, any course. I didn't really have teachers. So I had to really, that's where it was like, blah, something inside of me reached out and was like, I need a teacher. And then I started connecting with my guides and my angels, because it was rough. So it's like if somebody turns all the lights out and you really have to figure out what the hell are you doing on this planet, and find your meaning in your stuff. So not having tools during that time, that's rough. Having tools makes it a lot better. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so, and Moritz is asking the same question about the dark night of the soul. So yeah, it's basically a re-questioning, and it's like a re-diving into, into your deepest, darkest places, and realizing that it's okay that you have those feelings and that you have those fears, and it's all the shit that we don't want to admit to ourselves, basically. And then you really get to like go to work and deal with it. So shadow work, ego death, yes, absolutely, that does correlate. So absolutely, I am honest, because you know what, if I wasn't honest, I couldn't do this work. I really couldn't, you guys. And that's the thing. I want you guys to learn, and I realize that through this all, these are things that need to be said. These are things that need to be taught. These are the things that I wish I would have known, and I realize that the time has come. So that's why my soul birthed this amazing course that I would love for everybody to register for and to be in. And it is called the Sacred Chakras Journey, and you can find it on my website at www.moonbabetribe.com, and it's called the Sacred Chakras Journey. And in this course, I teach you all of these different tools, from learning how to navigate through your chakra pillar or your chakra lane now, right? So to navigate your lane and to truly connect to your heart, to the heartbeat of the planet, to your higher self for manifesting, and to pull the frequencies that you want, and how to align yourself with the possibilities of the things that you want. We also talk about the astrology, how the chakras and the planets and the astrology and the elements all go together. So all of the tangible physical things, and all of the amazing downloads, DNA activations, all those things. Which, by the way, for example, you guys, this period in time, Sagittarius and Jupiter, that is a second chakra issue, okay? So in the course, these are the things that you learn. So that means that it's hitting your sacral chakra. So if you're having like gut stuff, that's the Sun and Jupiter in Sagittarius. That's what's going on. And so it's your creative like stuff is recalibrating. It's affecting all of the sacral chakra. Maybe you want a lot of sex. Maybe you don't want a lot of sex. Like it's rebalancing the second chakras. So, I've had a couple of these moments, and for me, it was like hitting rock bottom. Yeah, that's kind of that dark night of the soul. And so because of the energy, and that happened to you when your mom passed away 10 years ago. I'm sorry to hear, sweetie. That's when you question things. So everybody has that moment in life where you really question someone, or question like, not someone, but it's usually triggered by someone or an event. And then you're like, you just feel like the monster in you has to be dealt with. And, it's, when I look at it, a lot of people have had significant events that have triggered that. It's like, it's just a trigger, because we're humans in a human body. I mean, we're not humans, but we're having the human experience right now where, when things are going well, we forget about ascension. We forget about getting to that next level. We forget about all these things. And so sometimes we need these triggers that we had planned, ahead of time to continue the path of, that we had set previously. So absolutely, you guys. Absolutely. I'm happy to help. So, what I do want to tell you about the energy that I didn't really get a chance to say it. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to jump off, and I'm going to come back on so that I can actually download this video and then put it on YouTube so that we can keep the replay. So, you guys, if you need to jump off now, jump off. Go to www.moonbabetribe.com and check out my Cyber Monday special for the Sacred Chakras Journey. There's also a free course on my website that you definitely, if you haven't done it, you definitely want to do it, because it's all about energy and protection and the stuff that you really need right now. But yeah, when you register for the Sacred Chakras Journey now, I have a bonus where you get a reading with me one-on-one. So I actually connect, tune into your energy, and tell you what's going on. So it's the first time I've ever done it as a bonus because I'm very protective of my time, but I want to help. So I hope some of you guys take me up on it, and I'll see you shortly. I'm going to download this video and jump back on, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the energy. Mwah! Love you guys. See you in a second.